Hi guys, so baby Jacob is turning 2 soon. He's turning 2 next month, actually just in a few days, in a couple weeks. And Jacob is Joseph's brother. So we went to Lake Shore and find him some educational tools. So let's see what we found for a 2-year-old. So the key thing to some of these, well, the key thing to all of these is I'm going to hide them in a closet or put them away in a shelf where he cannot, have them lost or all over the floor, or you don't want them to end up in a bin like this, because then he's not going to learn anything. So basically, the whole idea behind something like this is that I'm going to sit down with the baby, or the caretaker is going to sit down with the baby for like a solid 15 minutes, play together, and then put it away once he lost interest. Some kids can sit down for 15 minutes, others could play with an activity for 30 minutes, and other kids are super hyper focused and they could play with an activity for 1 hour at a very early age. So I would say that is the most important thing, is sit down with the baby, let him lead the play, give him some praise, some conversation, and you can redirect the play. And when they lost interest, put it all away and put it back in the cabinet or in the shelf, because obviously these things are expensive, and you don't want them all over the floor, lost, or missing pieces. And what's the purpose? So this one here, it's actually pretty neat because it has the colors and the shapes, and it comes in a bag that you can take it to grandma's house or something. This one here is just basic, you plug in the pieces, but this would be pretty good to start practicing like building motor skills. For the letters, we are going to really start emphasizing on phonics. Jacob actually has a speech delay, so phonics is very important. So some, like the letters, we can play from a high chair. These cubes, we can sit down and just one cube at a time. You can even just start with the vowels. I would say start with the vowels and just 5 cubes, like A is for apple, apple, and see if they can repeat some of the sounds. And same thing goes with these magnets are super fun. The best thing to do would be sit down with the baby and play with those in the refrigerator, or he can play with them while you're cooking. With Joseph, we used to have some of these foam and play with them every day in the bathtub. And Joseph is a kinetic learner, so he would learn by touching them. I would have him trace them with his little finger, and then we would say them out loud. So he's looking at them, he's speaking them, and hearing them. So and touching them. So he's using a lot of the senses. That really helps for like learning, especially when you have children with special needs. So, and then here for the colors, I love this mat because we can put the mat like in the sofa, and I would give him one piece at a time and make it like a contest. Like, hey, go put the red with the red. And maybe Joseph can help. Like, I would give Joseph the toy and Joseph could say red, and then walk over and place it on the red area and say red, red. And then I can give Joseph a couple pieces so that Jacob can see how to play the game. And then I could give Jacob a piece and say, hey, this is blue. Go put it in the blue area. So this one, I really like it because we can play with that as a family. Kind of like Twister, right? But for babies. And same thing with this. Like, just do it together, one piece at a time, and say the colors out loud. So that's important. I'm all about saying things out loud. And then here for Play-Doh, we could just play with one color at a time. Maybe he can, I know he's 2 years old. His hands are really smart, but he can kind of start playing just to learn, fine motor skills, learning how to touch and use some of the tools. I would have him just play with one color play with some tools like this one. This one's pretty easy. We're just rolling around the Play-Doh. This is for ages 18 and up. So I would say this is good just for him to start practicing touching and using tools. The colors, definitely he has to learn the colors. I even have these colors on the wall. So together we touch. So we say like yellow, and then we go like blue. And then we'll go back to yellow, purple, yellow, blue, yellow. So I keep on emphasizing one color until he can get really comfortable with it and memorize it. And as we are pointing at them, I actually had him put his little hand, like I grab his hand and put it on the color over and over and over, and until after maybe 3 or 4 times I ask him, and then he can touch it by himself. So something like that I would do twice a day and just focus on colors for the whole week, or maybe focus on colors for the month. So I would do this in the morning, maybe after breakfast, and then in the evening. So definitely 2 times a day, and focus on just one activity for the whole week, if not maybe one activity for the whole month. Like have a theme. This week we're gonna focus on colors. So on colors, here we have some blocks. This one, a lot of the therapies, they're gonna ask you to play in stocking blocks. So that's why I got these, because on the instructions, like right now we're doing sessions and via Zoom meetings with the therapies. So they asked me to have blocks, and they gave me a list of toys, and a lot of the times I don't have them. So it's different when you used to go to the therapies at the office. Now they're at home and they tell you, okay, get ready these 5 items. And sometimes we don't have them at home. This one looks like a lot of fun. So when we're doing colors, this is fun because he can just kind of hit the colors. So again, when we have colors for like a theme, we can use these 3 things and change it up. I would just use 1 item per day, 1 item at a time. So again, I'm going to have all of these locked up in a shelf, and we're only going to sit down and play together for as long as the baby allows. So if he gives me 15 minutes, great. If he gives me 30 minutes, perfect. And once he lost interest and walks away, I'm going to put them away in the box and save them. Or in a bag, but I don't want them lost or all over the floor. This one here, I just got it because, I mean, he's just going to be scribbling, right? But I got it so that he can practice holding a pencil and practice like fine motor skills. So that's really important. So it even says here, motor skills. And then for art, so there's some pretty cool things for little kids. I got these ones just because they're small and skinny and he cannot break them. And then for painting, instead of getting markers, I got these brushes, paint brushes. These are really good for little kids because they're just dots. And so he can grab it with his little hand like this and then just do like dots. And that would be really cool colors. And then for the stamps, so we have a really big pad, so it's easy for him to see. There's 5 colors in here. Again, we're going to emphasize the colors of the rainbows. But when we do this activity, I would just use 1 pad. Maybe give him 1 pad and 2 stamps to keep it simple and not overwhelm him. So he loves dinosaurs. I found these stamps. Again, these are for little kids. You can, he can grab these with his little hands like this. And put the stamp and then onto the paper, and that would be that one activity for the day, just that, right? So here, these are the basically this is his birthday gift from mom to baby Jacob, as he's some kids start preschool at age 3. Most kids start preschool at age 3, especially for working parents, and some early learners start at age 2. Joseph started at age 3, and I noticed that when it came to pre-K and kindergarten, we were behind the other kids who had started at age 2 with the phonics and the kinetic learning and executive functioning and all of these things. So I think it's important to do time for educational things, instead of just letting them run around by themselves all day, or be on the phone and electronics. But definitely is something that needs one-on-one attention. Lecture has a world of accessories. These really cool crayons, I like them. I got them because they're like kind of like big and fat, so it might be easy for a little kid to use them, like someone with little hands. Yesterday he did it. He was doing this at the restaurant. So I actually had these in my purse. So when we go to a restaurant, I'm ready to go with something. And these ones, I like them because they cannot break because they have a plastic. And as they get older, there's something for every age. Like Joseph is now in 4th grade. He practiced his times tables at home in so many ways. He practiced them with the iPad, with the chart, with the flashcards, and handwriting them like old school. And now I have this. I like this so that he can use this in the car, right? So this one, you just click the answer, like, okay, 3 times 8. I always have him say it out loud, 3 times 8, and say the number, and then double check himself, and there's the answer. So something like this, since we spend so much time driving and in the car, he can have this in the car and just be practicing while we're driving. So I'm going to actually probably keep this in the car because we spend a lot of time driving to doctor's appointments, play dates, and basically the times tables, we practice one table every single day because when you're doing math, it's really important to have them ready, to have them handy and memorize. So every single day